My name is Nina Camplin and I am the online arts facilitator for the VC Gallery. Welcome to another one of our live watch parties, and today I'm going to be doing something similar to this. It's another one of Bob Ross's tutorials, and this one's called Golden Rays of Sunshine. So to start with, you need to have a black board or canvas that's already been painted black and left to dry. So I'm just going to adjust where I've got my camera, and I'm going to flip this round and move this. So bear with me a second while I just do. So that's my board that I'm going to start with. So Bob Ross always works in oils, but I'm going to do this demonstration in acrylics today just because they're a lot more accessible and easier to clean up afterwards as well. So beginning with, I've got some black and white paint. So we're going to start by doing this as just a black and white image. I'm using kitchen roll, and I'm going to just scrunch it up and start. This is where my light source is coming from, so this will be the main centre, and I'm just going to stipple this on with the kitchen roll, gradually working outwards so the paint's strongest in the middle. If you don't want to use kitchen roll, you can also use this. This is just a bit of old car sponge, so that might actually get a finer texture. So you can use that, or you can use kitchen roll or a screwed up rag, and it's a case of working from that spot outwards so that it looks like. I'm going to go back to the kitchen roll actually. Trying to make this look like a kind of distant foliage really. And then as you get further out, it needs to fade into black, but I'm going to mix some of this with the black and make a grey to kind of kill off some of this. I've gone a bit too bright with some of it, so I'm going to do a grey now. I'm going back in with the white again now, just bring that out. So I'm mixing it up. I want a kind of variation here so it looks like lots of distant trees. I'm going to bring it down to about 2/3 down the page. And I'm just going to use a flat brush, and I'm going with just pure black. I'm going to start putting in some trees. Because the white's still wet, it's picking it up a little bit, but that's fine. Could do a little bit of variation of tone in here. And then I'm going to start making them a bit paler as they get towards the black. Let's put some grey ones in here. And then right at the edge we'll have some white ones. I'm just getting a fine brush now, and I'm going to put some branches on these. So I've added a little bit of water to it so it's a bit more fluid. I just want to come out at various angles. Maybe some finer twigs in the background as well. Some very thin trees. And put some white ones in as well, just a bit of contrast. Some coming off from the edge. And you can keep going for ages adding branches in. Then ideally I could do with this being dry so that this doesn't pick up the background. But I want a really strong tree in the foreground here. I'm going to bring him up from here and across the middle. Right, and I'm just going to put some foreground in now. I'm going back to my kitchen roll again. Coming on from this side. I'm just going to put some foreground foliage in. A little bit on this side. And I'm going to start adding some black into this so we've got some layers of foliage. As you come closer to the foreground, if it's further away from the light source, so they're not going to be as bright. Just going to put in a slight indication of a path as well. So there we have the black and white base for this picture. Now you can actually leave it like that, but now I want to colorise it. Now this really does need to be dry to do this, so in true Blue Peter style I'm going to show one that I painted earlier that is now dry. So to start with, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wet this. Now I'm bringing in these colours that I've got. I've got phthalo blue here and Indian yellow, and then this is a burnt sienna. So I'm going to start with the phthalo blue. And I'm just going to go across the whole picture and keep it quite watered down. Coming down to about 2/3 of the page, and then I'm going to come in with the Indian yellow at the bottom. And I'm going to just start mixing that with the blue so we get a kind of green happening up here. So both those colours are quite transparent, so they allow the original painting to show through. I'm just going to get a little bit of the burnt sienna and just give a bit more tint to some of the foliage. And these trees can be brown as well. I might just quickly run a hairdryer over this. Now I'm going to put in some of the rays of the sun coming through. So I'm using quite a large brush, and I've just got a little bit of paint on the edge of it. Don't want too much. I'm going to come in about here and just keep working it outwards. And you've got that kind of haze of light coming out from the sun. And then in the same way, we're going to just get some bars of light coming through. Just going to put some little light bits on top of this foliage to look like it's highlighted by that light. And there we have the Golden Rays of Light by Bob Ross. I hope you enjoyed watching that little demonstration, and hopefully I'll be with you again next week. Bye!